Well, good morning. Welcome to Agape. Agape, Greek, unconditional love. Martin Luther King Jr. said, the love of God operating through the human heart. I define love as the awareness and acceptance of our wholeness, which means no judgment. The second there's judgment, there's no love. And contrary to what you've been taught, there's no such thing as conditional love. That's nonsense. That's playing word games. At Agape, we teach a positive, practical spirituality. It's based on the teachings of science of mind, Zen Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity. You know, all the great religions, there's some great truth in there. The thing about Agape, though, is we don't have a dogma. We think that the power to self-love, as we explore that and become greater at that, we love others greater, and then we love the world greater. And I think the whole journey of life is to become aware that we are all interconnected. We're all part of the oneness. So before we get into today's message, let's go into meditation or a quiet little visualization just to get ourselves centered. So I invite you to come into a comfortable seated upright position, your back straight, hands gently resting on your lap, eyes closed. All awareness now is on your breath. With every breath you breathe, your body becomes more relaxed, more present, more still. So consciously, let's take three deep breaths together. Breathing in through the nose, holding it for a few, and exhaling through the mouth. Again, breathing in through the nose, holding for a few, and as you exhale, let your body relax. Again, deep breath in, hold, and as you release, go deeper and deeper into relaxation. Now I want you to imagine, sense, and feel that you are surrounded by a beautiful golden warm light. In fact, it's like a cocoon. And this cocoon of light starts to gently penetrate your skin, and it feels so warm, so good, so natural. It moves into your tendons, your ligaments, your muscles, your bones, your arteries, your veins, your capillaries, into all of your nerves. It moves into all of your tissue, into all of your organs. And you feel so thoroughly supported and relaxed. And in this relaxed state, you are open to healing, loving ideas. And these ideas are words of truth about you. Silently repeat them to yourself as I say them. I live in the awareness that I am one with universal mind. Because I live in the awareness of my wholeness, I am wise, I am powerful, I am connected. I am the master creator of my life, and I embrace my power. I choose where I focus my mind. I know that where I focus creates my experience. I free myself from the opinions of others and allow my inner being to be my guide. I am unique, whole, and perfect. accept myself just as I am. Just as I am. So feeling a sense of freedom, a sense of connection, a sense of empowerment, start to bring yourself back to this time, to this place, to this day. And when you're ready, gently begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, maybe move your neck from side to side. And now gently open your eyes. Put a smile on your face and welcome this beautiful day. I'm going to continue a little bit along the line of last week. And my title for today's talk is, Are You Living in Self-Imposed Isolation? I'm finding that more people have hunkered down and are not leaving their houses. Most people have chosen to not be social. Most people have isolated themselves from family and friends, even in the holidays. Ergo, depression, anxiety have increased. I'm here to tell you there is a way forward, a way out of that isolating darkness and into the light of connection and healing. Religious science teaches that we're all individualized expressions of one infinite power, deeply interconnected with all of life. That means that separation at its core is an illusion. Think about that. We believe there is an infinite. You can call it anything you want. Consciousness, awareness, God, George, Frank. I don't care what you call it. It's not a being. It's not a purpose. It's an organizing power. I love consciousness as my choice. And this consciousness created everything out of itself because there was nothing else to create out of but itself. And what it did is it never creates anything the same, because why would it? It's infinite. So that would mean that I am a unique whole expression of the infinite, and you and everyone else is a unique whole and expression of the infinite. But no matter how unique and whole we are, we're all interconnected. We're connected with each other, and we're connected with life. All the strength, all the courage, all the love we need is already a part of who we are. But recognizing that power requires action. It's about shifting from being a passive observer of life to an active participant. We think we are powerless. We think, a lot of times in deep spirituality, people think all I have to do is meditate. All I have to do is meditate. Well, no, you're not here to withdraw from life. Meditation is a beautiful recharge of life, a beautiful way to get intuition, but it's about taking action in life. That's why we have a human body. That's why we have an ego. It's about not being just a passive observer and letting life happen to us, and life does just happen, but to be an active participant in how we focus and how we act and how we be love in the world. So what steps can we take to come out of isolation? Well, the first step is accepting and embracing what is. I know that when COVID hit, people isolated, and many people have not come out of that isolation. And instead of judging the government, judging society, judging the medical profession, judging others about whatever view you had, just accept COVID happened. You have to accept what is. But you don't have to stay isolated. You can move forward out of it. We are not meant, think about that. We're created out of the infinite, unique, whole, and perfect, and yet part of it. We're not meant to be isolated. We're meant to be living, interacting with one another. And in order to do that with love, we have to embrace what is. Also, to come out of isolation, and this is a really big one, you have to have the courage and the power to reach out. I am so blessed this week that many people have been in a bad state emotionally, mentally, whether it's relationship, health-wise, or whatever, and they've reached out. And when they reached out, they can be supported. And when they reach out, they don't feel alone and isolated. We all need each other because we all have struggles at times. Don't isolate. If you need support, if you need to be with people, find those people who will accept you as you are and not judge you. But know that you're having your unique expression and it's okay. It's okay. But you know what? It takes great courage to reach out. It takes power. It takes willpower to reach out because we're so afraid. Our ego is so fragile that if I reach out, they'll think less of me. No, we all need to reach out at times. Another way to come out of isolation is to become present when you're with someone. Here's a question that I pose to people. If you're in partnership with anyone, ask your partner. This is a great time of year to do that. Ask your partner, instead of thinking you know what they're thinking, instead of thinking that everything is going along great or however it's going along, ask the question, is there anything I can do to support you as you uncover your magnificence, as you grow into a greater expression of you? What can I do to support you? I do that with my wife. I do that with my sons. I do that with my granddaughter. I do that with all the people that are close to me. Guess what it does? It establishes connection. It opens us up from isolation, and we realize that we're surrounded by beautiful beings of light. And that when you ask these type of questions, the light gets brighter and brighter, and you join in with their light, and the light gets brighter. Another way to come out of isolation is giving of yourself in service of others into the world. There's no greater way to come out of isolation and to connect than to give. I watched my little granddaughter give her Nona, my wife, unconditional love with what she said. And I'm telling you, I watched my wife's heart open, expand, and grow. I know at this Christmas holiday, I have been of service to my family. And I feel good, not because they gave me praise, because I gave without expecting anything in return. When I've been called during the holidays to support someone in need, I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel like my time was taken away from my family. I gave because it made me feel good to be of service. There's nothing greater than to be of service, because when you're being of service, you're saying to the universe, I understand that we're all one. And when I give now, I can receive later when it's my turn. Another way to come out of isolation is connecting to the infinite through spiritual practice. Taking time every day to meditate, to be in gratitude, to do spiritual study, to forgive, to let go of that which is no longer serving you. Think about this. If you were able to forgive yourself and everyone around you, would you feel isolated? No. Would you have to try to avoid things because you've got fear? No, you wouldn't have to avoid. So you'd be more free, you'd be more open. You'd be more open to be with others and to share in that beauty. Stepping out of isolation, it takes courage. It takes a willingness to be different, to break old patterns, and to embrace the discomfort of vulnerability. But on the other side of that, there's freedom, complete freedom. And I want you to know the courage you seek, it's in you. You just got to want it. You really got to want it. And you got to be okay with being different, going against the tide. Because if you look at where the tide's going, it's about isolation. It's about fear. I don't want to be a part of that. I want to be different. I want to flow with the river, not against the river. And I realize that as much work as I've done, I've still got old patterns of thought and behavior that are not serving me and loving myself and others more. So I have to be willing to release those patterns. And I have to be willing to be vulnerable. In other words, when I receive critique, to not defend myself. By not defending myself, I'm open to see life differently. And you see, when I'm not defensive, I'm free. And isn't freedom the greatest thing we want? Because if you have to defend yourself, you're defending yourself. Why? You're holding on to something that's an illusion that you've created in your mind. Why do that? It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of everything. Embrace the discomfort. Embrace it by being vulnerable to saying, I don't know, and I'll explore that. Thank you for bringing that up. So today, I challenge you to take the following steps. Number 1, reach out. Number 2, show up. Number 3, serve. Number 4, pray. And know that as you do, you're not just relieving your own anxiety, your own depression. You're becoming a light for others who may still be in the dark. Realize the good you do for you creates a light in the world that others will benefit from. And then you can share your light with them, and they can share your light with you. And all of a sudden, there is no isolation. You're now living in love. And there's no better way to live than in love. So I want to thank you for taking your time to be with me today. And know that if you're needing to connect, we're here at Agape for you. Just go to agapespiritualcenter.com, look at the calendar. Got some wonderful ways to participate. Love to have you join us. Also, while you're on our website, agapespiritualcenter.com, make a donation. If you've received something, give something back, because we take your donations and we use it to bring this message. We are very transparent in all that we do because we're a nonprofit. We're not here to build a big fancy building, but what we're here to do is to bring teaching and self-empowerment and ways of looking at life that help you create your life. And together, we can make the world a better place for everyone. With that, love, make it a great week. I know you can, and so do you.